Microphone check. Microphone check. Okay, here's the deal. I'm having a big gulp. It's Mountain Dew. And I'm thinking here about how I'm going to try to make a giant ring station. So this video is a few things. It's a concept display, but it may also be a demonstration of a thing that I may seek from someone else. So in other words, I'm trying to work out the best way to go about making ring-based terrain, and one option is, of course, to buy some somehow. So I don't know how to go about doing that. So one option I have is, first, I made this so here's a ring. So I don't know how well you can see. It's a lot of pixels. This is actually quite big. Okay. So what you're looking at here is a single cube. Okay. So here's my single cube, and this cube has a dirt path layer, and that dirt path layer is actually made up of some cubes. 25 of them to be exact. And then the texture is arranged so that so this cube, even though it's 25 pieces, this is what one cube looks like. So I have 25 pieces, and then I have 25 of the same texture, but the offset is set so that now when they're all put together into a tile, it looks like one piece. And one of the things that you can do now is that I could get just one cube and move it a little bit. So wouldn't that be a thing? Unfortunately, I don't know how to make it so that the cubes are arranged both in horizontal panels, which is how they are now because they're all mixed, and in vertical panels. So it would be cool if I could have them all arranged in vertical panels, and then I could raise them all at the same time. So I don't know what to do about that, but each one is stacked on top of each other, so I could just, now that I've made them together, I could just move them into a new game object. I should just go down the list 25 times. And then if I do that with this one single cube, because it's a prefab, then every instance of it will be changed thusly. So I could easily apply rearranging those. So here's the situation. One thing I thought is that a terrain generator is just a height map. And if I could figure out how to apply a height map to this ring, then I could randomly generate any number of terrains, if you will. Any number of different. And I could really make different cubes, different single cubes. And if I made different single cubes, like a water cube and a grass cube, then I could probably make my whole own terrain generator. Well, wouldn't that be just amazing? It sounds hard to me. So one thing I thought about is I could try to find someone on the internet who knows how to apply a height map terrain generator to this cubey ring. Because I already made the cubey ring, and it wouldn't take me very long to actually have it down to that smaller pixel resolution. And then this entire cubey ring, you can adjust the occlusion distance so that you're only rendering your local area. Or, I mean, I think there's quite a few things that you can do at that point. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to apply that, but the problem is that here, how these blocks are organized is not starting on one side and then moving across and then moving all the way around the ring. I have one section and then another section, or I can add more sections. So actually organizing these into pixels that are arranged in a line and then a line, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know how it works. So I have to try to figure out how I can learn more about that. If somebody already knows more about that, there might even be an existing asset that I can just buy that asset and then apply a couple of functions to my code and build an automatic ring generator, which would be pretty cool. The other option is I could just put this up and say, hey, look, I'm going to put this video up. Do you have any ideas, or do you want to make one, or do you want to make a custom terrain out of my asset? And I can try to talk about that kind of thing. But the problem with that is that if you buy an asset from the asset store, they put a price on it. Maybe it's $40, maybe it's $100. If you go shopping around looking for somebody to do work, they're going to want to charge more. Secondarily, I'm not a shrewd businessman. Some people are like, yeah, we'll argue about it. I'll kind of do you, you'll do me, but we'll find a balance in there. And I don't want to do that. You know, I'm just not a shrewd businessman who thinks that you should lie to me, I should lie to you, I should try to raise your expectations, you should try to lower my expectations, I should tell you things that aren't real, and then after you're already in, tell you something else and be like, well, but it's more like this, but you're kind of fucked. I got you, but I knew you weren't going to do nothing different anyway, so it's okay that I got you on that one, because otherwise you wouldn't have ever done it. And we'll all come out in I can see, we'll all be okay. None of that is okay with me. None of it. And that's a problem because actually people don't know until they get started on a project or get their mitts in there if they're going to be able to do one thing or another. But that's just a budgetary constraint, you know. The bottom line is that I don't have any money, so I can't shop for an employee. So at that point, I can only shop for an asset that's already made and is a price that's like a Walmart store price. And looking for something that doesn't exist already doesn't check any of those boxes. Or option 3, I can just sit here and eventually, first I'll organize, you know, enough of these big boxes. Then I'll be bored one day and I'll be like, well, I'll just start organizing the little boxes and I'll just increase the resolution and then ultimately create one ring ever, which is the worst idea ever. I mean, it's just a terrible idea, you know. I mean, if you already know that it's possible that you can get tons of them, then you should really just pursue that. Especially if it means that you can automatically have it assign maybe the water, maybe the beach, stuff like that. But this is pretty cool. It reminds me a little bit of Minecraft. So anyways, here's my ring project as it stands. And I guess I can try to give you a 4-scale comparison really quick. So let me put a vehicle in there, which won't stay in there, but so here's the ring, and here's the rock hopper. Let me put that down there. Let me try to zoom in on the vehicle. So somehow it's warped into this box. I don't know why it's warped on the inside. And so this is the present scale of the ring. So here's the little rock hopper. And you can see that I'm talking about a pretty big ring. Yeah. So you can see it next to one of these blocks. I'll raise a single cube. So that's what a single cube looks like. And so that's how big the rock hopper will be. So it'll be a giant ring. It'll be very slowly rotating. And hopefully that will make the spin gravity a lot closer to regular gravity. And then people can have placeable trees, or I don't know what to do, because anything that gets placed in the ring space has to have a convex collision mesh, which means all trees are out, basically. There can be no trees. So I'm not sure what to do about that. But anyways, that's my video.